The case of the Parkland shooter could be in the hands of a jury in a matter of days. The prosecution and defense going over the judge's instructions today before closing arguments begin tomorrow. Local 10's Christina Vasquez reports.
I don't think it's a surprise to anyone to know that this is my first death penalty case, and I am looking at these instructions thinking not extremely clear.
They went paragraph.
Judge, we do have an objection to number 7.
By paragraph, word.
Anywhere that it states evidence, we would object to that word and would request to use testimony.
By word.
So we're going to take out the underline.
To find agreement on jury instructions. Each side advocating for inferences that bring clarity to the issues they want jurors to consider during deliberations.
It's not for a school shooting where a teacher is murdered. That's our position. They are not appointed or elected.
They want to leave in the word elected official for this jury instruction, when clearly we know that these adults who were murdered by the defendant were not elected.
The process laborious but critical, as the instruction language they are working through today will guide jurors through deliberations.
There has to be a decision to all of the 17 counts.
For each count in this 17-count capital case, one count for each Marjorie Stoneman Douglas staff and student, the Parkland shooter murdered on Valentine's Day 2018, the 12-member penalty phase jury will face a responsibility like no other in U.S. history. This is the deadliest U.S. mass shooting to go to trial. After weighing the evidence presented by the state and defense, the 12 jurors are tasked with making a recommendation of life or death.
They're going to have to be focused in weighing what's been presented to them, again, individually though, 17 times. They've got to come up with 17 different verdicts here.
And that is legal analyst David Weinstein, and he really explains what is happening today, this methodical process, so important to both sides. Again, jury instructions are what guide this jury through the deliberations, so you're going to continue to hear both sides making inferences down to words, right, as they try to dovetail case law with their trial strategy. Closing arguments are scheduled for tomorrow. Back to you.
And we know it's 17 different counts. And Christina, the jury has to be unanimous when recommending death, correct?
Such an important point there. Again, this is a 17-count capital case. Each count relates to one person, a staff or student that the Parkland shooter murdered on Valentine's Day 2018. So this jury will go by each count related to that person. On each count, they have to be unanimous, as you said, if deciding to recommend death. That means if, let's say, on one count, that count being, let's say, murder victim Peter Wang, if 11 of those jurors decided that death was the appropriate punishment, but just one decided life, then it would be life for that count. And then that process continues as they move through the 17 counts in this murder.
Okay, a lot to take in there. Thank you, Christina.